ClubExpress using the Page Builder. A ClubExpress website consists of several types of pages. The first is, of course, the home page, which is the front door to your site. There are pages for the special functions built into ClubExpress, like the event calendar, member interests, documents, and discussion forums. These are dynamic and loaded automatically by ClubExpress based on information you load into the database. Administrators can create other pages, for example, surveys, ad hoc forms, and often custom pages. Custom pages are used to build out the unique content of your website, including information which is not represented in the built-in functions. Each page can contain text, images, videos, and links to other pages and external sites. The formatting can be as simple or as elaborate as you need, and these pages can be placed in your menus and linked to from other pages, events, email, and other content. ClubExpress has updated the way administrators and coordinators build the home page and custom pages. The new tools are very flexible, easy to use, display well on computers, and are responsive on mobile platforms. The Page Builder replaces the previous tools for creating and updating custom pages and your site's homepage. The new tools and capabilities fall into two categories: the Page Builder, that determines what the users can see and when, and the versioning system, which is a new way to track and modify versions of pages, create temporary versions, and edit them later. And each time you click on one of the Save buttons, the system creates and stores a new version of the page. Saving a new version doesn't overwrite the one you're working on or any other versions, so you can always go back to the earlier version if desired. This video looks at the Page Builder's features for creating and editing content. The companion videos for managing your home page and managing custom pages go into detail about how versions are used for those pages. Also note that any pages that were created before the Page Builder was implemented are automatically converted into the new format. We'll look at the versioning system a bit later, but first let's look at the Page Builder by creating a new custom page. Later, we'll open the editor of an existing custom page and look closely at the tools available. We're already logged into one of our demo sites as an administrator. So we go to the Control Panel's Website tab and click on Custom Pages. To create a new page, click the Add Custom Page button. A new custom page screen is displayed where you enter information about the page. When you click Save, an empty page with these properties is created and appears in the list of pages. The search results show the page's name, category, and whether it is currently active. If your club uses subgroups, the page's level is also shown. Before we look at the icons in the Maintain column, let's talk about page versions and why version management is important. A page might have one author, or there may be several people involved in the drafting, reviewing, and editing process. It might undergo several revisions or have different versions with unique content that will be published over time. So it's very easy to get confused with tracking which version is the current one, and therefore creating the possibility of working on the wrong version or using out-of-date information. Version control captures changes made to files over time. In this case, your custom page. So every change is captured as new versions are added. Every time you edit and save, a new version is created, and any one of the versions can be made active for your main custom page. That is, it's published and made available for viewing on both desktop and mobile devices. Although your custom page will be responsive when viewed on a mobile device, which means the items will resize and reposition automatically, you can also create a version that only displays on mobile devices, perhaps with less or different information than on your main custom page. So although this is an optional and less used feature, you can have up to two active pages. One is the main custom page version, and one is the main mobile custom page version. You can build many different layouts for a custom page and make any version active as needed. You can have content that's visible to everyone, or to members only, or to non-members only, or hidden, and you can have content whose visibility changes on a certain date and time. Let's look at the search results. For a new page, like the one we just added, there's no version yet, so we can click on the Edit icon to open a new version in the Page Builder. Let's add some content and make the page available. This should show you how quickly you can get a page published. Web pages are row-based, with each row having configurable visibility. For this part of the demo, we'll make one row available to all visitors and one only available to logged-in members. From the floating page toolbar, we click on Row Templates. There are many template formats available, each with empty row cells, but we'll click on the Combinations tab and drag 2 rows into the content area. The first row is one that's been pre-configured to display upcoming events and news. Next, we'll add a row that has both an image and an area for text. When a row is selected, we can use the drag handles to move the rows up or down in the content area, or we can move and set other row attributes from the Row Tools section of the toolbar. Note that when each new row is added, its visibility is set to hidden, so it's up to you to define who can see it. For example, after placing a row, click on the row visibility so we decide who will be able to see this row. Here we'll make this row visible to everyone. For the second row, which contains club events and news, let's set it so it's only visible when the member is logged in. Now that we have the 2 rows defined, we can configure each of the cells. Cells contain widgets that display content. So on the first row, we need to specify the content for each cell. First, select the cell. It might take more than one click, as the first click selects the row and then the second click selects the cell. The Actions tab of the Property panel for the Cell tool is displayed. Here we click on Insert or Change Graphic to either select from your photos or web images, or to upload a new image at this point. The image is displayed and can be resized. Now we click on the cell with text and choose Formatted Text to enter the basic text editor. This editor has rich text editing features, but if you need more control, you can select the Advanced Content Editor instead. We replace the placeholder text with our content, adding text attributes like bold, color, italics, bullets, and numbering, etc. If desired, we can also add links and graphics. When we're done, click Save. The widgets on the second row load data about upcoming events and also has links to news items. For now, we'll go with the default settings for the widgets on this row. We're done with this page, so we click on Save, Make Active, and Exit. Because we clicked on Edit from the Custom Page Manager, we are returned to this screen. Let's click on the Versions icon to show the Versions Manager for this custom page. As this is a new page and we saved it as active, it has only one version, and its status is marked as active, and the type is Main Custom Page. Back at the Custom Page Manager, we can click on the View icon to see the active published page. This page can be put on your menus or be linked to from other pages, emails, and websites. Because we're logged in, both rows are visible. We see the graphic and text we selected, followed by the content automatically loaded about upcoming events and news articles, with live links to those content items. This was a simple exercise in quickly getting a page created and published. Both custom pages and your home page can have multiple versions. Often these are work-in-progress versions during the page's development. However, you might want to have slightly different versions that you make active at certain times of the year. Now let's explore the page builder by clicking on the Edit icon for another page that demonstrates many of the available features. Note that clicking the Edit icon will bring us to the version whose status is active. To see any other versions, you click the Versions icon and then edit the appropriate version. Let's look at the user interface. The canvas is where you build your page. At the top of the canvas, you have the option to save the changes you've made as a new version and continue editing the page, save the changes you've made as a new version and exit, save the changes you've made as a new version and make the page active, and in this case, if the page is currently visible to users, they'll be able to see your changes. You can preview the page, including any changes that you've made. When you click Preview, a page opens in a new browser tab where you can simulate how the page will look on the desktop and mobile devices. You can also see how different visibility settings let you vary what is seen by the public, only by members, or all content, including normally hidden rows. Now back at the page builder, you can maximize the content area, and you can exit the page builder. At the bottom of the canvas, there are buttons that duplicate the save options at the top, and there's a button to cancel your changes. The content area is where you place rows with cells that contain widgets. These widgets display various kinds of content: text, images, polls, news items, menus, even custom code, and there are many widgets to choose from. and they each have many options, giving you a lot of flexibility. In addition to the widgets, each row has visibility options so the row can be shown only to the public, only to the member, or to everyone, or only to administrators. For example, you might want a row with information about joining your club to be seen by the public, but not once the member has already logged in. You can click the visibility icon to cycle through the choices. To the right is the floating page builder toolbar that has pop-out panels that are sensitive to the row or cell you have currently selected. You can close a panel by clicking on the double arrow icon. Let's explore the toolbar. The Page Tools button lets you set a title for the current version. The Row Templates button lets you select from a wide range of blank rows divided into empty cells of various widths. You can then decide what kind of content goes into each cell. Or you can select from predefined row combination templates, for example, one that has an image in one cell and text in the second cell. Note that some of the combinations, for example, images with text, place multiple rows, one that contains images and one for formatted text. To place a row, drag and drop one of the choices to the content area. The contents of any cell, whether it's currently empty or has content, can be replaced by dragging a widget to the cell. The Row Tools button deals with the currently selected row. From the Actions panel, you can move the row up and down, copy the row, delete the row, and change the row's current visibility, that is, who can see the row. You can also optionally change the future visibility of the row. This is useful for making the row visible on a certain date and time, perhaps to publicize an upcoming event, or to hide a row automatically when a date is reached. From the Style panel, you can set attributes for the row, for example, text style, background color, margins, alignment, borders, and many others. The Cell Tools button displays two tabs. The Actions tab shows options appropriate for the widget in the currently highlighted cell. For an image widget, it might be prompting you to add a photo, or for a weather widget to select the place and how you want the temperature to display. You can also choose Change Element Type to select a widget to display in this cell. And like the Row Tools, each cell also has a Style tab, so you can customize the display attributes for that cell. The Widgets button lets you select the type of content that you want to display in a cell. You can either drag and drop into an empty cell, or drop to replace the contents of a cell that already has a widget in place. Let's delete the two rows previously added and look at the default set of widgets. There may be additional widgets displayed that reflect optional modules you may have installed, for example, the Jobs board. Also, if you have not enabled some features, for example, the News and Articles module, those widgets and combination rows will not be available. The Text widget lets you add text that can be edited using a plain, formatted, or advanced text editor. Selecting the type of text that you want to use for this cell determines the text editor you will use, plain, formatted, or advanced. Plain lets you add simple, unformatted text content. The formatted text editor has various tools to enhance the content. Here you can set text size, font, color, alignment, numbering, and bullets. You can also insert links, images, and emojis. If you need even more control, the Advanced Editor has all of the features of the formatted text editor and adds tools for creating tables, group boxes, symbols, and text case changes. This editor is also used to edit content for custom pages created before the page builder. These pages convert with the content in a single widget with one or more rows within the widget. Although you'll likely be creating new page builder rows where you can control visibility and style, editing existing rows or creating rows within this advanced editor widget can be quite useful. Let's assume this content already contains a row, perhaps it was part of a page conversion. A dotted border outlines the row. Click the toolbox icon to display the editor's sidebar. Here there's a tab for various row-cell combinations, as well as widgets you can place into the cell. Please watch the Advanced Content Editor tutorial for details. These tools allow you to design some pretty complex layouts. For example, at the current cursor position, you can place a row with a 40-60 split, and then within the first cell, place a 3-column row, and then place a 4-column row in the second cell, So now we have 7 columns into which we can place content. You can even create multi-row cells by adding rows above or below other cells within a row. You place content either by entering text or by using the icons from the toolbar or widgets from the sidebar. And you can move a row up or down with the icons in the sidebar or delete a row. So as you can see, you can create some pretty advanced layouts using this technique, all without having to program in HTML. Note that although the advanced editor lets you switch to HTML mode, the dedicated HTML widget has features, for example, line numbers and color coding, to make content creation easier. Save your changes in any editor to apply the changes to the cell. The link widget lets you insert a link to another website or to content on your website. The link builder lets you display a link as text or a button or a graphic. There are 16 types of links. These let you provide quick access to pages on other sites using the external option, or from your site, for example, a blog, photo album, survey, future event, etc. This widget places a single link in the cell. Note that you can also add one or multiple links in text widgets when using the formatted text and advanced text editors. The image widget lets you display an image. Click on Insert or Change Image to search through your existing web graphics or photos, and you have the option of uploading a new image from your local drive. Select Save to save your changes, and then to resize an image that has been inserted, select and drag the double arrow at the bottom right corner of the image. You can also resize the image using the cell actions. The Floated Image widget lets you display an image floated to a position you specify, with text that wraps around the image. You specify if the image should be to the right or to the left of the text. Image with Caption displays text below an image. You select the image, then edit the text using the formatted text editor. Select Apply Changes to save your changes. The Text Over Background widget lets you display text with an image as the background. You specify the image and the text. The Upcoming Event widget displays a list of upcoming events. Note that multiple event widgets can be placed on the page. For example, you might have one listing upcoming writing events and another listing upcoming education events, each based on a different category. You enter the title to display at the top of the widget, enter the number of days out to show the upcoming events, choose a width that spans the width of the cell or a fixed width and a maximum height. And you can choose to include all event categories or select the categories for display. The Recent Blogs widget inserts a list of recent blog posts. You enter the title of the widget and the time period to display the information. Enter the width of the widget and the maximum height of the widget. Determine if the widget will display all blogs or only select blogs. The News and Articles widget inserts a single news article from the News and Articles module. Search for the article by category, author, or tags. Select Apply Changes to insert the article. Note that the inserted text is statically inserted. It's not linked back to the original and will not be updated if the original is updated. The Newsfeed widget inserts a list of recent news articles posted in the News and Articles module. Enter a title to display at the top of the widget and the number of days passed to show recently posted articles. Again, choose a width and decide whether to include all news article categories or only one category. The new Members widget inserts a list of members who have recently joined or renewed their membership. Select the members to display, either new or renewed. Enter the widget title to display, the time period, and the width of the widget. And you can enter the font to be used for the members' names. Note that the display respects the privacy each member has set for their standard directory display. That is, if they do not display in the directory, they will not display in this widget. Similarly, the Birthdays and Anniversaries widget inserts a list of upcoming member birthdays and anniversaries. Enter the title of the widget and the time period to display the information. Enter the width and maximum height of the widget. Determine if the widget will display birthdays, anniversaries, and for primary members only, or to include secondary and tertiary members. Note that this widget also respects the member's privacy settings. The Poll widget lets you display a poll created in the Surveys module. Your members select one radio button as their vote, and they can then immediately view the results of all votes cast so far. Click on Insert Poll, then select the green check mark to insert the poll. You can also select the edit icon to make changes to the poll. The Slideshow widget lets you display a photo album as a slideshow. You must first create a photo album and add photos that you want to it. Slideshows work much better when all photos are the same size, so take some care in picking photos or crop them to the same size before adding them. Choose the photo album category to browse for the photo album to use for the slideshow. Set the width and height of the slideshow, and choose the display of border and navigation buttons or to display only the images. The Facebook widget inserts a list of recent Facebook posts. Choose a height and width for the widget and enter a link to the Facebook page. If your club has already defined its Facebook page under social networking, this page will be shown automatically. If not, you can just enter it. Note that the widget only shows posts from the past 60 days. You also need to set visibility to international to remove country restrictions and visible to anyone who's over 13 years old. These are Facebook requirements. The Twitter widget inserts a list of recent Twitter posts. Choose a height and width for the widget and enter the Twitter username. The Weather widget displays the weather for a specific location. The coordinates and location which autofill correspond to the club's location entered in the Club tab. Select the temperature unit, width of the widget, and the name of the location. Note that if the cell is narrow, only the current temperature is displayed. But if it's in a wide cell, it displays today's weather plus a week at a glance. The Media widget lets you insert a video using the Media embed code. Paste the embed code from your video hosting site, such as YouTube or Vimeo, into the blank field. Then select Apply Changes to apply your choices to the cell. The Accordion widget displays one or more expanding panels. This cell demonstrates various panel combinations and shows how clicking on the icons expands the content for each panel. Select Add Panel to add a panel of text. A new row with a set of icons appears. Click the configuration icon and enter the title of the panel and the width. Select the font and size for the panel, and select the type of arrow icon to indicate that further text is available, as this icon expands the panel when clicked, displaying the panel's content. Select the font color and background color for the title of the panel, then save the settings. When you click Apply, the new panel's heading appears. Select the Edit icon to add text to the panel. This is the content that will be visible when the user clicks the Expand icon. Use the Formatted Text Editor to edit the text. Save the content, then click Apply to add it to the panel. Repeat by adding as many panels as needed, and you can delete any unneeded panels. The Submenu widget inserts a submenu. Choose a menu to insert, then select the width. Note that styles like background color applied to this cell are for the cell itself, not for the menu, because the menu color is sensitive to your website's color selection. The Horizontal Rule widget inserts a horizontal line spanning the width of the cell. The HTML widget lets you edit content for this cell in HTML mode. Select Insert Edit HTML to view the HTML edit pop-up. Here you'll find features, for example, line numbering, color coding, end tag creation, and collapsible sections, all to make HTML content creation easier. Add or edit your HTML and save your changes. And finally, the Empty widget lets you replace a cell that already has a widget with one that has no content assigned. As new widget types are added, they will also be available in this toolbar. So now you've seen how to create and edit pages using the Page Builder. Please view the companion videos for custom pages and the home page for more information about administering those pages and versions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.